Tatalach, I believe it's afternoon now. Inum winik dwas tamasla wateet, ka'in wa sepahetamina. Good afternoon, my name is Tommy Miles Williams. I'm an enrolled member of the Nez Perce tribe. I'm in my second year here as a retention specialist for the Native American Student Center located in Cleveland Hall. A little bit about the work I do is I provide current resources and student service support for all current Native American students at Pullman campus and global, so somewhat campus-wide. But yeah, that's the work. My peers, including myself and my siblings, grew up going there, and that is where the tribe had a real deep impact because they were able to get elders to basically teach their basically stories, and some of the stories that they passed down are meant for us at that age, and they it's kind of to help mold us into basically having a good head on our shoulders at times, and also to learning how to ways to best have a good relationship with the land, our relatives, the four-leggeds, and also with each other as people. So a lot of them can be from conflict, and one in particular I learned was Ant the Yellow Jacket, and that is a monument that you can see on our reservation land of two rocks building into one. And how that story is Ant and Yellow Jacket fought over possessions. And over the time of them fighting over possessions, we were taught as kids about how that never got resolved, and how Coyote Itziaya basically said, if you don't put a stop to this, like, you will be turned to stone. And he ended up doing that, and so we could actually see that as kids. And for me, hearing that, it put truth into what we were to remember where we come from through sharing our creation stories. And so that plays a big impact, especially when students come to Washington State, is knowing where they come from, and also too knowing that they're not forgotten about. And it's hard because you don't really see too many people that go through the same experiences of being a part of a culture that was eradicated and forced to basically disappear. But the fact that we still exist, there's a lot of trauma and a heavy burden on us. But through stories like these, it's kind of an approach of healing, knowing that there's some solace in having that, being a part of that burden to preserve this retention, being able to retain that knowledge. Especially with the digital age, with cell phones and laptops and using Zoom, a lot of things I feel like has been forgotten about, the importance of, passing down knowledge and making sure that nothing gets forgotten. The best practices is through oral traditions. The best way I learned the Nimiput Timta language was through oral histories or oral stories, or basically traditional stories told. That, and then being in those environments to learn it. It was never really in a classroom. I did my best to learn the language in a classroom, whether that was in high school or even in college, but there was nothing that came close to having it. I would tell them that that I sure hope I could meet the standards and expectations of making sure what they taught me is passed down, and that they did an excellent job, especially with students struggling in that intersectionality, especially with blood quantum. What they did and the sacrifice they gave to make sure that we learned our traditional ways really pays tribute to us being able to unite and to be able to know where we come from. And that gets overlooked, really overlooked and overstated by modern society, where yeah, what they did is important, and honestly, our tribe wouldn't be where it is today without that.